Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. Welcome to this show. Welcome. Today we will be very brief, talking about Tibor Nagy, Ambassador Tibor Nagy. Okay, Ambassador Tibor Nagy. Ambassador Tibor Nagy has been very prominent member of the Ambazonian community for the past few years of this struggle, of independence. Ambassador Tibor Nagy has been forefront to advise, to give support to the community of Ambazonians, and we have seen him doing that again and again. And his recent outing about his own 3 points, his own 3 ways that Ambazonians can get out of this dilemma of the crisis. He made mention of 3 points, and I'll read them so that you understand. Okay, he said, number one, the point that we have been fighting for the past 8 years, and Ambazonian leaders and the Ambazonian people have suffered this fate, that the resolution 1608 cannot help us, because that is the United Nations resolution that was passed during the past. So he said that this era is not an era of for us to wait on that resolution anymore, because most leaders and the Ambazonian people are hoping that someday the resolution will lead them to a negotiation, and the negotiation will lead towards say a referendum. But he is cautioning the Ambazonian people that that resolution will not help in somehow, because most countries fought for their independence. Okay, they fought so hard for their independence, and Tibor Nagy made mention of those points. Okay, his point is that he's just cautioning the Ambazonian people that UN Resolution 1608 that emphasize on self-determination cannot only be achieved through winning the struggle, like through some other means. But he said that we can win by either 3 ways: fighting, keep fighting, or he said either you keep fighting, or he said either the La Republic government or the La Republic government can leave the territory of Ambazonia. Okay. So either we winning by keep fighting, or we go to negotiation for a referendum, or the Cameroon government handing the territory back to Ambazonia, or by leaving Ambazonia. So Tibor Nagy is trying to send a message to the Ambazonian leaders, and for the past years we have heard Tibor Nagy doing this. It's not new. We know of his past comments. We know of his past advice to the Ambazonian people, but the Ambazonian leaders does not seem to understand that he's sending a message in the diplomatic world. Diplomats don't speak the way we want them to speak. Okay, and the Ambazonian people are still looking at the old time way of resolving conflicts. Okay, we still believe that the conflict must be resolved in this format, whereas looking at the discussions Ambassador Tibor Nagy is having with other diplomats, other shareholders, stakeholders, he's looking at this as this is a clarion call to Ambazonians to rise up and fight. Okay, and Ambassador Tibor Nagy's statement is very clear, right? We have to understand that he has been in this struggle like us. He has seen everything like us. Okay? And he's telling the Ambazonian people that they have to fight in the battlefield to evict the enemy, like Republic military. Two, he said that we have to, if not, then if negotiations come through referendum, we have to accept it. Because there are people who are denial, say they don't want referendum. But those are options that even almost 3 years ago we were putting that on the table. Most Ambazonians, some Ambazonians did not accept that, oh, referendum means that we'll lose the war. But it's a pathway for the Ambazonian people to decide on their fate. Okay, so if the Ambazonian people accept referendum, Yaoundé will only accept a referendum or negotiation to save its face. There's no way if the Ambazonian people unanimously say, okay, we want referendum, okay, that the Yaoundé would deny, right? Then the third way, he said that Yaoundé can only surrender and hand over the territory, okay? Because we are looking at all these three sides of things: keep fighting, referendum, or the military leave the territory. Those are three options that he's saying. But I want you to listen to about Ambassador Tibor Nagy in this his comment that he made about 3 years ago. Okay, then we'll come back to that.
Welcome, everyone, Honorable Tibor Nagy.
Thank you very, very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how prescient you were in organizing a conference about banking and finance this particular week when the whole world has been rocked by banking and financial scandals. So, if you have any stock tips for me, please give them, send them to me my email, because I will definitely follow your lead on that. You guys are awesome. Obviously, I'm not a banker. I'm not an economist, so my remarks will be very, very brief. I am, however, a passionate advocate for justice for Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians, who have been without any justice for many, many years. This comes to me from my own personal experience, because I was a victim of a very unjust regime growing up in communist Hungary. And then I spent many, many years when I came to the United States in our own diaspora, the Hungarian diaspora, that very much wished for freedom to come to our country, and God answered our prayers, and that did happen to us. So when I saw justice for my own people, that has really put in my heart a calling for justice for others who have been suffering the same. And I pray every day for justice and human rights for the people of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. However, as many of you have heard me know, that I cannot take sides in independence versus federalism. I know very, very many good people on both sides. My passion is for a just outcome. My passion is that the people of Ambazonia, or Southern Cameroons, have their dignity and their human rights that are deserved and have been denied for so long. I also have said many times before that as long as the community remains divided on the leadership, on the mechanics for getting there, the destination is going to be very hard to achieve. So once again,
yes, I want to come in here, because a lot of people don't understand that some of the leaders are very egoistic. These are advice that Tibor Nagy has been giving so many years ago. Most of the leaders don't take to advice, okay? And if we must win this fight, we have to embrace that advice from people like this. For the past 8 years, had it been we were the leaders were working together, they take away their ego, come together, work as a team. Okay. Not necessarily leaving your group, because some leaders always think that if they come together, then they will relinquish their power. Okay, I don't know what power they are fighting for, but this is what I still don't understand. For the past 8 years that this struggle has been, some leaders don't want to even talk to other leaders, just to talk. And there are issues that are at hand that needs general consensus. You cannot be a one-man soldier in a struggle of 8 million people. What do you think? What is really going in the heads and minds of these leaders that they don't see it as necessary to sit and decide on 8 million people? Somebody want to sit alone to decide for 8 million people. I don't understand how they really think how you can run how do you run a country like that? One man running a country, how? You have the community, you have the people, you have the government, you have the 3 branches of government. You can't just stay you one running a government. You say you are running what government are you running? The people are the one dispute you there. If you are to say you want to run a government, you don't listen to the people. You don't even want to know what the people are thinking. What government are you running? That is just a nomenclature of a dictatorship, because you, as claiming to be a leader, you don't listen to the people. You don't take advice from any people. The people are saying that, okay, this is what we think it will be better to resolve this crisis. You don't listen. Leaders will call you, come for meetings, let's try to see the path forward. You don't listen. What do you want then? Some leaders are the hallmark of this failure of this negotiation process, that we fail in Switzerland. We also went to Canada and failed in Canada for the negotiation process. Whereas if they had one single voice, if they had that unanimous decision that they can take, the Cameroon government wouldn't have had this advantage over them, to negotiate, because now they are saying, oh, because of the ego, we need something like a revolutionary council, that leaders sit and discuss on outcome of certain projects, because the leaders are afraid to come together because they don't want to relinquish power. It's about power. And up to this time, after 7 years to 8 years, I don't understand the power that the leaders are fighting for in the first place. Because you have to look at the broad picture. Keep your egos aside. The problem in this struggle is embedded in ego. That ego that has eaten up the very fabric of this struggle is because leaders think that without them nothing can happen. They are the alpha and omega. When I saw somebody like Joe Biden, for example, in America, stepping down, I don't know if some of these leaders see that kind of behavior where you put your country first. Joe Biden put the party. He said, okay, I'll step down and I'll nominate somebody. Why can our leaders not copy from these good examples? They only copy from the bad examples. Something like a revolutionary council can be a good thing, where you guys will sit down and for example, the recent decision that was taken by some of the leaders that came together, it was very powerful, right? The decision by making taking an unanimous decision for school resumption. But some leaders went back and were saying that they don't respect the date. Whereas they were in the meeting, they were there and they instead decided, oh, they were not going to take that date. These are little things that the international community is looking at. Okay. I feel sorry for someone like Tibor Nagy, who has been so a fervent supporter of the struggle. But he sees us as people who don't understand, because he's from Hungary. Tibor Nagy is from Hungary. He has similar history with Ambazonian people where they fought for this from Hitler and all those dictators. So he is seeing us in that picture. But for us, the Ambazonian people, we think that he's coming to intrude into our own business. He feels he's passionate about the struggle. He feels that this is similar to what he experienced in his country, Hungary. Even though he's an American today, but he passed through all those things before coming to America. And when he is giving his advice, people don't take it. They think that, oh, he's American this, American that, American this. When will Ambazonian learn from these mistakes and everything? When are we going to learn? Because those three suggestions that Tibor Nagy gave, are the leaders going to listen to start working on them, or they just think that the people back home can suffer, can just resist the fight forever? The people back home are tired. They look at the future. Look at the picture, the broader picture. How long can they take to sustain a struggle? That's what we have to look at. Let's keep listening to Tibor Nagy.
My plea to the community is to please find at least one major point of unity, which all prominent individuals and which all groups can agree on. Now, that is not for any outsider to tell the community. That has to come from the community itself. But looking on as a passionate ally, from my point of view, perhaps one item that the community could be united on is a demand that there be an internationally recognized referendum, so that the people actually on the ground in Ambazonia, those who are suffering every day, can be the ones to determine their own future. We all know that the nation has suffered enough. We know that the people have suffered enough. But as a very wise American president said more than 150 years ago, I'm talking about President Abraham Lincoln, when he said that a house divided itself cannot stand. When he said that, he was, of course, repeating the words of an even more wise individual right from the Bible, that a house divided against itself cannot stand. Unfortunately, in Ambazonia, the house has not even begun to be constructed. So if it's hard enough to let a house stand that is divided, what can we expect for building a house? So that is my prayer to you, is for the community to please find one port of unity, so that those against you cannot keep exploiting that division and keeping you from achieving that dream. I thank you from the bottom of my heart to allow me to say a few words. I wish you every success with your conference, and God bless you, your families, Ambazonia, and all of Cameroon. Thank you very much.
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart listening to this, because this is something that was said about 3 years ago, and the people of Ambazonia don't gave trust to all the leaders. They gave them the hope. They gave them the support. They gave them their future. But Ambazonian leaders think that, most of them think that leadership is forever. Okay. I just watched the American Democratic National Convention. You saw leaders who came and speak upon leaders. They come and speak. Watch it, you see. Those, you see, Bill Clinton came and those are leaders that have led, that have been president before. Okay, Obama came and, you know, the all former presidents came up and spoke during this convention. Those are people who respected democracy, and they are very passionate of their country. You cannot be a president and you want to be a president forever, and you think that without you nothing can move. But when I saw the Democratic Convention today in America here, I was so passionate. I felt so touched, because I see democracy, how democracy works. We are trying to practice democracy, but if we cannot give a chance, we cannot give negotiation a chance, we cannot give peace a chance, what are we fighting for? Are you fighting a dictator to bring dictatorship? Are you fighting a dictator to bring back dictatorship in Ambazonia? Or what are you fighting for? Are you fighting for justice? If you yourself cannot practice the justice, what are you fighting for? Are you fighting for, what are you fighting for? What freedom are you fighting for if you cannot free your own people? These are the questions I want leaders to be deep in their conscience to think about, because this is 8 years, but they still keep doing the same thing over and over, the same thing, and they expect magic to come from heaven. Tibor Nagy just elaborated three things that he said, okay, this is what can be done. But can these leaders listen? Can they listen? I was so excited. You know, I want to thank all those who are trying to bring collaboration. They're trying to look for unity. They're trying to bring collaboration, trying to see how the leaders can work together. It's a positive step. Those are positive steps in a positive direction. Okay, but if the leaders cannot really work together, what do they want? Because the resources are not there. Then you know that you cannot do something, but you don't want to work together with others. So what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? Because if you think that you can achieve as a one-man soldier, by the end of the day, you don't have the resources. You don't have the support. You still cling there that you are the president, or you are the King Kong. You can do everything by yourself. Whereas, if all these leaders come together, they bring their resources together, they bring their ideas together, they bring their forces together. Tell me, it doesn't matter your affiliation. It doesn't matter who you like. It doesn't matter where you belong to. That has nothing to do with the Ambazonian struggle. Nothing. Because 20 people cannot decide on 8 million people. It doesn't work like that. 20 people, whether you are 20 leaders, you cannot decide on 8 million people. Because when those 8 million people will say no, you have to listen. Because you are working for them. You are not working for yourself. And when you think that you cannot listen to the people, you people don't have to be leaders. Because leaders are assigned by the people. You are working for the people. You are not working for yourself. It's not somebody's private business. Leaders have not understood this for so long, since the struggle started. They took it upon themselves as a private business. And they confuse between party or groups and the Ambazonian struggle. Your group is working for the Ambazonian people. Else, you can make it an NGO. Nobody will come and just do as an NGO business. Nobody will come and ask. But if you will say you are working for the Ambazonian people, and this group is affiliated to the Ambazonian struggle, you must listen to the Ambazonian people. There is no other question about that. But are the leaders ready to listen? That is $1 million question. I will not say much, but I just want you people to, because I was very touched by this Tibor Nagy's 3 points that he made, because he has been observant. If you people don't want to listen, that is your business. But Tibor Nagy is saying something very fruitful. We should listen to him. Okay. Thank you, and God bless Ambazonia.